In this presentation, useful knots to know, we'll cover basic knots for general boating and sailing, angling and fishing, house and home. The knots I will be showing how to tie are the bowline knot, fisherman's knot, blood knot, handcuff knot, fireman's chair knot, and the reef or square knot. The first knot we're going to tie is the bowline knot, also known as the bowline. We're going to tie a bowline knot or a bowline knot. This is what it should look like when we're all done. So you take your line, turn it so that one goes over the other, like this, okay? And you take your working end, it goes up through the hole, goes around and down, so it should look like this. And then we're gently going to pull, and there's your bowline. The next knot to tie is the fisherman's knot. This next knot we're going to tie is called a fisherman's knot. You have two lines that you want to tie together. Lay them down so that they're parallel with each other. Then you're going to take one and you're going to wrap it around. Come up across underneath. Okay. Then you're going to come through and you're going to pull that so that you've tied it like this. Then you're going to take the other line and you're going to come around and you're going to do the same thing. You're going to tie it. Then you're going to slide them together, and as you can see, the knots should fit together tightly. These knots are held together and they're nice and strong because they do what's called biting into each other, so that once they bite into each other, they hold each other tight so they won't come undone. But if you want to loosen it, take it apart, you just separate them. You untie this. You untie this, and you have your two separate lines again. The next knot is the blood knot. This next knot we're going to tie is called a blood knot. Okay? Essentially, you start with two lines like you did with the fisherman's knot. Make a loop in one. You're going to hold it right at the loop. You're going to wrap it around the other line 5 times. You want to make sure everything stays nice and tight. Okay? Okay. So then you're going to slide that through the two lines. Doesn't matter which direction you go right now, just slide it through. Then you want to make sure you hold everything nice and snug. Okay? Then you're going to do the same thing with the other line. You're going to make a bend so you get the loop. And then you're going to wrap that around 5 times. Okay, now because we have this line going through in this direction, we want this line to go through in the opposite direction. Okay, so then we're going to pull them tight. Make sure your lines still stay snug. You're going to pull them tight. So you should have one line going out this way, one line going out the other way. Okay, pull them tight, they hold together, and then this is what your knot should look like when it's all done. The next knot in the series is the handcuff knot. This next knot is called a handcuff knot. It's kind of a fun knot. Make your loop. One goes behind the other. Okay. Then you curl the next one over like this and slip it behind the first knot, or the first loop. Okay. Then you reach up through, grab the first loop, reach over and grab the second one, and then you pull it snug. And if you look and see, there's your knot. Okay? Then you can put somebody's hands in, and you basically pull the ends, and voila, they're in an old-fashioned pair of handcuffs. Okay, very simple, very easy to do. It's also called the Tom's Fool knot because we have a knot, right? Or do we?
Our next knot is the fireman's chair knot.
All right, this next knot that we're going to tie is a variation of the handcuff knot. Essentially, it's the same thing. It's just we've modified it a little bit so that it holds it so that the knot itself doesn't come undone, and it can be used to lower somebody down from, say, a burning building. So, again, we start off, we make our loop, then we make our other loop, curl it over, run it through. So there is our handcuff knot, okay? So there we are. There's our handcuff knot, the one we just made. Now, you're going to take this end and you're going to curl it around and slip it over that loop. So it should look like that, okay? And then you're going to pull that snug. Not real tight right now, but just snug. Then you're going to do the same thing to the other side. You're going to loop that over and you're going to slide that underneath so it looks like that. As you can see, there's my fisherman's knot, so I had enough room. Okay. So then you kind of pull down on that and you pull on your ends, okay? And now you have what is called a fireman's knot. So you have your two loops. They are now locked in place by this loop and this loop, okay? So that is called the fireman's knot.
Last is the reef or square knot.
All right, this next knot, our final knot, is called square knot or a reef knot. You basically take the two ends of your line, cross them over, okay? Then you cross them again, but this time you go back in the opposite direction, so that way you have your nice, neat little loops, okay? Pull them tight. Now, in order to lock this so that it doesn't come undone, if one end gets pulled, see how it usually comes undone? So now what we're going to do is we're going to fix that. So there it is, back to the way it was, nice and tight. We're going to take a loop, go up under here like we did with the fireman's knot, okay? Do the same thing over here. We're going to pull that through, and then that holds the square knot or reef knot nice and secure so that it doesn't come undone. Okay, so there's the square knot, reef knot, tied in such a way so that it doesn't keep coming undone.